Hello everyone, and today I've hopped onto the tier list bandwagon and gone ahead and put together for you all the Microfighters for LEGO Star Wars, the tier list for all of these. Feel free to go ahead and use the link in the description to create it yourself, and if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and let's get right into the tier list. First of all, it looks like most of the other tier lists, S is the absolute best, and trash is going to be the ones that I just am not a fan of. So let's go ahead and get into them. They're from the first ever Microfighters down to the most recent one as of June of 2019. The first Microfighter, it's a Microfighter set. I think we can go ahead and say that pretty confidently. Getting the tank, it's a nice, it's not anything particularly special, but I really like the inclusion of the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. This and the Advent Calendar are the only way to get that, so this is a very strong Microfighter. I'm very glad they included this figure, but any other figure they would have included for this set, I think would have been very good. Next is the Droid AAT. This is a D-tier Microfighter set. I'm sorry to all you AAT lovers, but this doesn't look like an AAT. Plus, you're getting a droid that has a maximum value of maybe 90 cents on Bricklink. I think you could go as much as saying it's maybe $1.25 on Bricklink, so it's not a particularly good figure, and the overall build looks pretty bad. In fact, this is honestly a trash Microfighter set. They went from good to having a really, really bad one. Next up, we have Han Solo and his Millennium Falcon. This is A tier. It's a classic ship. It's got the classic Han Solo minifigure we're all used to. And overall, I like this set. I have this one at home, and personally, it's one that I'm pretty fond of. Next, we have this one. This is the TIE Interceptor. So, LEGO gave us a TIE Interceptor, but it wasn't the TIE Interceptor we were looking for. I gotta say this is D tier. The look of the cockpit isn't something I'm a fan of, and the wings, there's just something off about them, so not a huge fan of this one. The play feature also wasn't great, and it had some malfunctions with it. So honestly, not a huge fan of this D-tier Microfighter set. Next up is the X-Wing. This is a C Microfighter set. I like the look of the figure, and I like the concept of creating an X-Wing, but it just came out really poorly, especially with the engines and the wings, so C tier. I really wish this could have been a better Microfighter set, and I would love for them to maybe make a new one with like Jack Porkins or a classic character from Red Squadron. I think that would be really, really cool. Next up, we have this one. This is the Imperial Star Destroyer. Sorry, I forgot the name of this one. This is a D tier, I think, namely because the figure, many of you would consider this a throwaway figure. Personally, I like it. I think it does a pretty good job. I don't think it's a terrible Microfighter set by any means. So overall, it's pretty good. Just wish that the overall build could have been better. They've included another minifigure, so it's just a little bit below average. Next, we have the ARC 170. This is an A-tier Microfighter set without a doubt. I like the look of the ship. I wish there could have been a little bit better for the wings and the engines at the bottom, and maybe some play features too. It didn't include any, but the minifigure is one that the last time we saw anyone similar was 2008, and I'm glad that we got an updated version. This is a solid Microfighter set. Next up is this one, the Vulture Droid. It's trash. It's really bad. A lot of people comment on the wings being streamlined. I don't think of it that way. I think they're just really bland and they lack a lot of detail. The figure also isn't phenomenal, so it's a trash Microfighter set. Nothing more to say about it. Next up, we have an A-tier Microfighter set in the Snow Speeder. I like the way this one looks. You could argue it's similar to the X-Wing. I don't believe so. I honestly really like the look of this build. I think you could use it as an actual speeder, and the figure's pretty solid as well. Coming up on the AT, this is a C-tier Microfighter set, namely because of the legs and the way the body looks really bulky. I think the only thing that saves this set from being a D-tier is the inclusion of the minifigure, which the new variant only comes in the updated AT. I know there was a battle pack that featured them a while back, but if you want the updated version, this is the best way to get it. So, honestly, it's a C-tier Microfighter set only because of this minifigure. Next, we have this one, the Droid Gunship. This is B tier. I like the way that the Clone Pilot looks. The gunship isn't phenomenal, but the Clone Pilot, normally you'd have to pay $120 to get the actual gunship from 2013. in order to get it, so I am definitely glad that we were able to get this Microfighter set, and I think it looks really solid. Oh, real quick, sorry about the little battery thing. I had to go get my charger because the battery started running low on my computer. So let's hop in right in with the Homing Spider Droid. Now, this is another set that includes a droid, but it's B tier because the droid actually looks pretty good. I like the way that it looks, and it also comes with one of the Geonosis droids, which go for a lot more money, and they're a lot more rare. So I'm glad they included them inside of a Microfighters set. Now this one, it may look just like this X-Wing, but this is an A-tier Microfighter set, if not even an S-tier. Love the way that the figure looks. The engines, they did something right with these. The wings look a lot better. They added play features that I think actually work with this set. And the front, they kept because, again, it looked good with the original version. Love the look of this one. Definitely one that I wish I would have gotten. Next, this may surprise you guys, this is an S-tier Microfighter set. I really do like the look of the Snow Speeder. I think you could use it as an actual build, treating it like a normal speeder, maybe like a flash speeder or recon speeder. The play feature with the little flick, not the flick, but the little shooter with the gun, it's very, very nice. And along with the Snow Trooper, it's a solid Microfighter set. I like it. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think this is pretty much what you'd be going for ideal Microfighter sets. Next up, we have the Ghost. This is an S-tier Microfighter set. I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars Rebels, but the ship looks really good. If you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, I think this is like the Millennium Falcon. It looks really good. And you're getting Hera Syndulla, which is usually a pretty expensive figure. So overall, I think this is a solid Microfighter set. Next, it's another TIE Fighter. It's another D-tier Microfighter. Just the way that the wings look and the way the cockpit looks. The cockpit isn't my #1 thing that I'm concerned about. It's just the wings look so off. This is a D-tier Microfighter set. Same exact figure. It's not great. This one, it's trash. Trash for the Wookiee gunship. The actual set was really bad, and this set, I don't think there's a question in my mind that it's bad too. The wings look super weird, and so does the Wookiee. Just not a great set. Then we get to the ATDP. This is a D tier set. I want to make it a C tier set because of the minifigure, but the build is just so bland, and it lacks a lot of pieces. The build just has a little bit over 70 pieces, so it's definitely lacking as far as the overall quality of the build goes. Next, we have the Rebel U-Wing. This is an S tier set. I love the look of the actual figure. The U-Wing looks strong. I think this is just like this one, where you're getting a solid figure. It's got some solid little play features, and you can also use it as an actual speeder. This doesn't have to be a U-Wing. You could use this as a speeder, maybe a Rebel Recon speeder, something like that. Using your imagination, I think there's a lot of possibilities with really all of these Microfighter sets, but namely the S-tier ones. Then we have the TIE Striker. It's another D-tier. There's nothing more to it. The only thing they changed up was the look of the helmet, and again, the wings. I love the TIE Striker, just a bad Microfighter set. Then we have the Y-Wing. It's S-tier. It really is. This goes against the rule of you being able to use this as an actual speeder, but it's just such a solid build that I really got to put in S-tier. You also get a good minifigure with it, so I'm glad they created this Microfighter for Rogue One. With the final Rogue One minifigure and Microfighter, we got the Krennic's Imperial Shuttle. It's a trash Microfighter set. I'm sorry. It's just not great. The build is really what makes it bad. A lot of you guys don't like the officer minifigures. I personally like them. I kind of wish LEGO would do an officer battle pack with massable officers, but I understand why a lot of you wouldn't like this, and I think that kind of makes me want to put it into the trash section. Now, we already did a Millennium Falcon. This is an exact same copy, pretty much, and for that reason, it's D tier. It's a good set, but it's just like this one, just including Chewbacca and a little bit of difference with the satellite dish. So, sorry, but it's a D tier Microfighter. Now, I've put all of the other TIE Fighters at D tier. This, though, I think I gotta put it at a B tier. Still not a huge fan of the cockpit, but the wings are much, much improved with this set. I also like the look of the First Order Stormtrooper pilot, so I'm very glad that this was created. I think it redeems a lot of the other ones, but I still think we need a solid Imperial TIE Fighter Microfighter. Then getting down to the more recent ones, starting with the new doubles packs. This is the, I believe it's the Resistance Ski Speeder. The reason I like this one is because there's a lot of detail within this set. They do a lot with little 1x1s and a few curved pieces that really just adds a certain level of attention to detail for this overall set. I also like the look of the figure. It's an in-universe character too. Novarin Shavdary is the name of this Resistance pilot. So I'm glad they came out with this. I think it's pretty solid overall. Now this one, it's similar to the C tier, but I gotta put this one at B tier. It's overall really solid. I like the look of this ATM6. The legs are rough, but the rest of the build is really good, along with getting a solid figure. Then we have the A-Wing. This is an A tier set. As much as I like the look of the figure, and it's also a named character, but also a massable figure, the build is a little bit lackluster around the corners, and I don't feel like it really looks like an A-Wing. Even though it would make a good speeder, it just doesn't look like what it represents. Then we have probably my favorite Microfighter, so we're going to put it right at the front. Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer. It's so good. You get Kylo Ren, which is a pretty rare figure, comes in some expensive sets, and the TIE Striker is just beautiful. It's flawless. I don't think anything better could have been done with this set. I really, really like it, and this is one of those Microfighters pairs that I would just love to have because both builds are really good. And same with this one. I'd recommend both of the doubles Microfighters that we've gotten. The Naboo Starfighter, it's okay. It's a C tier set though because the Anakin figure just came out in the 20th anniversary set, and as much as the Naboo Starfighter is good, I think we should have gotten somebody else, maybe a Naboo Starfighter pilot. Next is the Sith Infiltrator. This is C tier 2. I like getting Darth Maul in a cheap set, but he also came in the Duel on Naboo set, which went for about $20. So I don't feel like this set had a lot of purpose. I'm also not a huge fan of the Sith Infiltrator ship in general, so that might have a little bit of bias towards it. The final two, I just recently did a light review and a haul on my channel. This one I gotta say is B tier. Some of you might put it at a much lower tier, but the escape pod's really good and it has some great parts, even if you just wanted to take it apart. The C-3PO and R2-D2, they're both massable figures, but I think they do a good job. So if you already have them, I think there is still a point in getting this set, because you get the Dewback and the Sand Trooper. It's S tier, because the Sand Trooper alone goes for about $9 to $10, sometimes even $15 on Bricklink. The Dewback is adorable, but it also looks great. It looks better than the brick-built version, which is just one hunk of plastic. And getting the new mold, although you may not like it at the beginning, like I did, it slowly grows on you to the point where you actually really, really like the mold. So this is an S tier Microfighter. In fact, I would probably go ahead and put it a little bit farther down the list. So let's go ahead and get into the final wrap-up for the tier list. So finalizing this tier list, I went ahead and I put the best ones from each category at the top. So this is the best Microfighter, then it slowly goes down. This is the best A, this is the best B, best C, best D, best trash, if that makes sense. So basically, if it's at the front, more towards the front of the list, it means it's close to getting up towards the next level. So this one, it could have been D tier. This one, it could have been B tier, but something changed with it that just didn't make it the best. And these are the ones that could have been worse, but just barely made the cut. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tier list. If you guys want to do it, I have left the link to it down below. I'd recommend it. I'd recommend going through it, maybe just for some sets knowledge too. It's fun overall, and let me know, what is your favorite LEGO Star Wars Microfighter? What's your least favorite? And how many do you have down below? I happen to have 4 Microfighters. 4 Microfighters. I have one of the Millennium Falcons, and then I also have the this one, the Snow Speeder, along with the one that I recently... Oh no, I have 5 because I also have the Turbo Tank, and I also reviewed the Dewback and the Escape Pod. So let me know, what is your favorite Microfighter? What's your least favorite? You can tell which one is mine. And then also, how many Microfighter sets you have. Also, maybe what sort of Microfighters do you guys want to see in the future? And overall, I would rank the Microfighter series probably about a B tier. I think it's solid, and I look forward to seeing more Microfighter sets from LEGO in the future. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.